Welcome back to Noir Alley. I'm Eddie Muller, your host, and I'm excited because today I have a very special guest joining me to talk about the film we're showing today, They Won't Believe Me. I am joined by Christina Lane, the author of a new book about the producer of this film, Joan Harrison. Christina, welcome to Noir Alley.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
I am so excited that you are able to do this because I have felt for the longest time that Joan Harrison has needed a biography, and I'm excited that you are the person that has finally done this. So tell our audience why you felt that Joan Harrison was a worthy subject, and how did you go about creating the book?
I wanted to write a book about Joan Harrison partly because she was so influential in Alfred Hitchcock's career. She came from Britain and she answered an ad for Alfred Hitchcock's personal assistant to be his secretary at the age of 26 years old, and actually proved within just a couple weeks to be the worst secretary he ever had. But proved to be very good at story. So he brought her on to be a development assistant and work with him actually for about 3 decades. And then also was very influential in film noir and was the producer of some of the most influential noirs that we know. So I wanted to bring her story to light and show just how important she was to film history.
Yes, I completely agree. I think that Joan Harrison is, as you say, one of the more influential movers and shakers when it came to the film noir movement in Hollywood. The film that we're showing today, They Won't Believe Me, is, in my estimation, her masterpiece as a producer. Tell us where it came in her career. She had obviously declared her independence from Alfred Hitchcock at a certain point, and had made Phantom Lady at Universal, but this movie came later. Tell us where it fits in her chronology.
Sure. So Joan Harrison had made Phantom Lady at Universal after going solo, leaving Alfred Hitchcock. Phantom Lady was a smashing success, and she'd made several films at Universal, and then she went to RKO. And with RKO, she was poised to make a great film, They Won't Believe Me. This was a $1.1 million budget, and she was really ready to make a film with the greatest degree of creative control. She was also excited about the themes of this film. This actually had themes that were most passionate for her. They were about the traps of institutional marriage and heterosexual relations and romance. So she wanted to say something about the ideas that were the most important to her. And they were also a little bit threatening, I think, to the powers that be.
This film seems very much to me the product of a female sensibility, more so than a lot of noir films of the time. Do you feel that way? And if so, what makes it such?
You basically have a film that looks on the surface like it is a male noir, right? You have a male protagonist, you have a male voiceover, and it looks on the surface to be kind of the premise of a man who's saying, I'm going to give you my story. But his story is really just the pathway into all of these points of view of the women, of the female characters in the story. It's a film that really shows you more a look into the human relationships and the psychological relationships of the film. So, you're looking at a film where you ask, what exactly is the crime? You have a couple of, of deaths, but you're not exactly sure if a crime has been committed. You have an investigation, but it's not clear exactly where the investigation has come from. It's a little bit tangential. And also the women in the film are very interesting. They have a lot of depth to them, and even a character that would normally be quite a side character, like the wife, Rita Johnson, is given a lot of dimension.
I completely agree. I think these are 3 of the most fleshed out and believable female characters in film noir, and I think we must attribute that to Joan Harrison's influence on the creation of the script by the great Jonathan Latimer, wrote the screenplay. But yeah, as you're saying, the women are fantastic, and what makes the film kind of exceptional from a storytelling point of view is it is narrated by the man, who is an unreliable narrator, because he could be lying to you about everything in this film, but yet through his narration is revealed what I feel are real truths about the women that he's in these relationships with, right? And there's his wife and then two other women. There's the other woman and the other woman. But you really get a strong sense of who they are, even though he could be lying about everything in this movie.
And none of those women are femme fatales, so those women are basically destroyed by him.
Yeah, exactly. At the end, definitely stick around because you'll have questions. The audience will have questions about the third act and especially the ending of this movie. So here it is from 1947, RKO and producer Joan Harrison, screenplay by Jonathan Latimer and direction by Irving Pischel. Here is They Won't Believe Me.